Based on the real-life story of an immigrant Indian mother, Sagarika Chakraborty, who moves to Norway with her husband Anurup Bhattacharya in 2007, was blessed with 2 kids. In 2011, the Norwegian Child Welfare Services took away both the kids of the couple to be kept in a foster home. Mrs. Chatterjee was accused by the Norwegian government for feeding her children with hands, which according to them is force feeding and does not fall under the idea of proper parenting. As per the Norwegian Child Welfare Services, the couple were being observed and they got to know that the couple used to beat their kids, which comes under corporal punishment. This marks the cultural differences of parenting between India and a country like Norway. Therefore, the story revolves around the battle of the custody of the children and the life of the couple that changed drastically after this incident. The adaptation of the movie, Mrs. Chatterjee Vs Norway, comes from the novel The Journey of a Mother, written by Sagarika Chakraborty herself, which was published in the year 2022. Directed by Ashima Chibur, the movie Mrs. Chatterjee Vs Norway stars Rani Mukherjee in the lead role, with other actors in the movie like Jim Sarb, Anirban Bhattacharya and Neena Gupta. Shah Rukh Khan praised Rani Mukherjee's role in the movie, taking it to Twitter, saying, "My Rani shines in the central role as only a queen can." Here's why this movie is a must-watch. Rani as Mrs. Chatterjee touches the soul in this movie after being back on the big screen after a year that she took off post Bunty of Bubbly tour that came out in 2021. This movie is based on a true story which shook the entire nation. It showcases how she fought not only for her children but also for her ethnicity and the integrity of her country. Mrs. Chatterjee Vs Norway is an absolutely female-centric movie which is unquestionably one of those films which leaves an everlasting impression with its strong plot and powerful performances by all the actors. Female filmmakers and screenwriters are becoming more prominent as they continue to put forward women-centric stories with socially relevant films like Mrs. Chatterjee Vs Norway. It is directed by Ashima Chibur. It is a classic example of one such film with a strong female lead. Even the supporting characters have brought their characters to life. It covers topics like motherhood and its challenges, how the idea of an ideal mother differs from countries to countries. It also throws light on cultural differences that lies around the world. Let's get back to see what Rani Mukherjee had to say about her role in the movie.
I have not yet met Sagarika.
You've never met Sagarika?
No, I have never met Sagarika.
This is a shock to me, literally.
Yeah, so I've never
And
met
never
Sagarika.
spoken to her?
No, I've not spoken to her.
You've not spoken to her, you've not met her?
No. Because I think as an actor, what I wanted to bring to the table is something that I thought would be my interpretation of Mrs. Chatterjee's character. I didn't want too much of a baggage because she's very much there. So I didn't want people to find similarities or say that this is similar, that is similar. For me, the story of Mrs. Chatterjee was about Mrs. Chatterjee, and I had to play it not knowing that this has actually happened. I had to play it cinematically for this film. I knew the emotions she went through because I sat with Ashima, I think 1,000,000 times over the script, and I went through it with her and what her emotions were, in terms of what Sagarika's emotions were. Ashima had a lot of tapes that she had recorded of Sagarika chatting with her, so I went through a lot of those tapes where I started to understand and I grabbed what her emotions are. Because that was what was very important for me for the character, that I need to understand her emotional graph because of what she's actually been through.
Right.
Because it was a struggle, it was frustration, it was anger, it was the loneliness, it was the mother's love, it was so many things. So I wanted to know what headspace was Sagarika in during that period and what is she today? And what has this journey of this fight made Sagarika into today? So I went through that. But when it actually came to performing and becoming the character, the only person that came to my mind was my mom. And I have no qualms to say it, that I have just taken my mother and put her into Mrs. Chatterjee. Because my mom is raised...
I saw that. That's why I asked you. I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Krishna auntie, like she's portraying her mother.
So actually for me, someone who is so connected to her roots. There is nobody else that I know more than my mother.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.